Well, welcome HCA 410 students, our healthcare finance class. We're starting module 2 this week. A lot of changes happened since the beginning of last week. I was anticipating that something like this would happen, and it definitely did happen. So let's talk about some of the changes. Obviously, most of you are probably aware there's a flurry of emails coming out at you pretty much on a daily basis. But if you're not aware, the Mercy College has gone to, we've gone to home office mode for almost everybody at the college. There's only about 2 to 3 people at the college right now working. One is in admissions, one is in our executive area, and that's about it. So we're looking at 2 to 3 people that are manning the college right now physically on the campus. For the rest of us, we've all gone to our home office mode, and here we go. My new studio here in my home office. So bear with me as I kind of get the technical stuff worked out with my home office and adjusting lighting and whatnot. But and also my lumberjack look, and a little more casual. So I think and that's whatever. Many of you are probably locked down as well, or sheltered in place. Right now, Ohio has gone to a. They're not calling it sheltered in place, but it's basically the same thing right now. So we're kind of locked down only for essentials, groceries, and essential items. All other businesses have been closed except essential businesses. So that's kind of like the final wave for us in Ohio. So I think all we have now is like grocery stores, hardware stores, healthcare, obviously, that's open. But no haircuts, no tattoos. Clothing stores, I think, are all closed. All of that stuff. All the entertainment stuff is closed. So whatever you need to do during this kind of unusual time, do it, and that makes you kind of get through all of this. So for my promise to you is I'm going to grow a beard for the next 8 weeks, so you can watch my beard growth here. I've never had one, so I think I said, I'm going to use this opportunity to grow a beard. So there we go. So you can watch that over the week as we have a little fun with Chris's beard growth. All right, so there's that. Hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody's taking this very serious. It is it is a very serious thing, and I think if the more that we see cases erupting in various areas, and I think please follow those guidelines that are being issued, through your local governments and healthcare agencies, and follow those guidelines and do take them serious. This is a pretty nasty disease for both older people or even younger people can be pretty devastated by it. So, all right, so enough. I guess enough of that. But all right, so let's talk a little bit about the course. And I know that some of you have reached out to me over the weekend with difficulties with the textbook. And Amazon, normally still my favorite vendor for textbooks, is prioritizing their shipment on healthcare and home care items. And many of your textbooks have been understandably delayed. So what I've done in this course, if you notice right below this video, I have placed the electronic version, my electronic version of the textbook. These are very unusual times, so I hope the publisher would understand. Okay, but here's what I ask you to do. Of course, if you need the textbook, please download it. I've had to split it into 2 parts. It's a PDF, so it's a rather large download. I ask that if you've ordered the textbook already, that you keep that order. The good faith. I do believe publishers should be compensated for the content to which they produce. Okay, it takes a lot of energy and time to produce a textbook. Now, I know there's a lot of them like, oh, they hardly ever change the textbook. There's a new edition and yada yada yada. But nevertheless, people create content, and I think they should be fairly compensated for that. So with that, if you've already ordered it, I ask that you that you do keep that order in place, and then eventually you'll get that textbook, hopefully in a couple of weeks, or less. Maybe you'll get it this week, but at least you have the electronic version right now. So that's the first thing I ask is if you've ordered the textbook already, please maintain that order. The other thing is that at the end of the course, for those of you that have the textbook or don't have the textbook, if you use the PDF, please delete it at the end of the course, okay, to adhere to the spirits of the publisher and copyright requirements. I please ask that you delete that. Okay, so there you go. Book down below, download it. Not perfect, PDF. I like paper better. It's easier to, I don't know, it's easier to let it soak in, but you do have the PDF there and you'll be able to get through the course with that very well. All right, so there's that COVID-19 situation, and we've talked about the textbook. Let's talk a little bit about what we're doing this week in the course. So, and I'm going to talk briefly, real quickly about this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post weekly videos in this area. For those of you who had my courses before, I like to have a kind of like a weekly video blog highlighting the week, what we're doing, questions that come up, any changes that come up with the course. I change the course quite frequently based on your feedback. And it's usually to your benefit. So watch the videos. Maybe I've changed an assignment. Maybe I've clarified an assignment. Maybe I've gotten rid of an assignment. So please check these videos as they post here. So we'll have one every week, in this area. Okay, and this is the first one, obviously, you had your intro last week, and this week, Module 2, we have this video. Okay, so please check this area before you go right into that module. So stop and check this area before you go into that module, see if there's any news updates or new videos. All right, well, let's talk about this week. So this week, we're going to be talking about risk and return. And you'll notice the pattern of the course is very consistent, pretty much through. We don't have a lot of complicated assignments. I prefer to just have fundamental assignments and a recurring pattern so you guys know what to expect and you get into a rhythm of the course. Because it's only 8 weeks long, we don't have a lot of time for, a lot of, figuring out how to do an assignment. So I'd rather have you kind of know how to do an assignment and then you're all set for the entire 8 weeks, kind of the expectations of what those assignments are. So this week, we have our topic essay, which you'll notice that happening every week. You have a learning activity, that's the homework. So you got the essay, which is a 5-paragraph essay. And then you have your learning activity, that's kind of the homework, if you will, for the class. And then I do have a progress journal. We have 3 progress journals in this course. I know some of you emailed me as well and texted me that there was a 4th progress journal showing up that was supposed to be due. That was from an older course and I've deleted that. So hopefully you don't see that as showing up as a late assignment or anything like that. There are only 3 progress journals in this course. And just do it. And the way to basically do this course is do what's in the module. If anything odd is showing up, let me know, but just do what's in the module. That's what you have to do. So I try to make it very clear. And if there's some weird assignment I had previously, I used to do four of these progress journals. We've cut that down to 3. So there you go. That hopefully answers that. So then you have your first progress journal this week. Progress journal is just a way for us to touch base throughout the course, see how you're doing. Usually, I like to get a feel of if there's any issues in the class, and this usually comes through the progress journals. So there you go, you've got that. This one's I usually prompt every progress journal with some questions too. So I'd like you to answer those questions, but then you could talk about whatever you want, anything you want in here, problems with the course, clarifications, muddiest points, whatever you like, you can do that in these progress journals. But usually, so look for these prompting questions that occur, and then cover that, and then you'll be golden for the progress journal. Easy points in this course are the progress journals. All right, so that kind of covers what we're doing this week. Not too complicated as far as all the different assignments that are due. With the learning activities or the homework, look for some videos that I'll be recirculating back out there. I call them homework help. So those will be coming to you soon if you're finding the homework a little difficult. What I try to do with the homework or the learning activities is I try to copy things that are in the book. So, or copy, have you do assignments that I've gone over in the videos. So normally probably shouldn't even need any homework help because I'm not trying to make it too complicated. So if I talk about something, let me just we'll pull up the presentations for the week. Let's see here. Wrong button, Chris. Okay, so the presentations for this week. So we've got financial risk, probability distribution, standard deviation, portfolio risk and return. In general, one of those or all of those questions are going to come out of these videos. So you can kind of follow along and just change the numbers. I've changed the numbers a bit, from what we're doing in the book, from what I presented here. So usually it's, not too difficult. But I know some people have some math phobia out there. And so look for, eventually we're going to have some homework help if you need that, where I do some more kind of walkthroughs of similar type assignments. All right, guys, I think that pretty much covers it for this week. Normally these videos will be a little bit shorter, but with the COVID-19 situation, I want to talk a little bit more about that. Another thing I'm going to do is just again to put my cell phone number down below here. If you have any questions, especially the short form questions, please feel free to text me if you like. Obviously, the best way to get a hold of me is, through email and text message. Even outside COVID-19, that's normally the quickest way to do it. Text is obviously the quickest. Usually, I can get back to you within a few minutes, depending on what's going on with myself at that particular time. Let me talk about something before I just close out that I'm thinking, kind of looping back on this COVID-19 thing. So I know many of us are in some unusual situations, like myself. I've got a 10-year-old over here in the other room, sworn to be quiet. So I know a lot of us have kids at home now, which is really fun, isn't it? Great, just and then trying to do work with your kids at home. If you are having any difficulties in this course at all, don't hesitate to reach out. All right. What I want to do is I want to get through this course, get the learning objectives met. How we get to those learning objectives, we could have some discussions about that. So again, I had a student who I think, son had like an ear infection and they were stuck at home with COVID-19 and all this other stuff and needed a little extension on due dates. No problem. Okay. What we do, so we have some flexibility on that part. Just don't go crazy because what will happen is that you'll get so far behind that you can't catch up. And what we do have to do, for the most part, is that we have to have everything done by the last day of the course, okay? Because the course, as you know, shuts down and there's no more after that. So everything has to be in those drop boxes by that last, by midnight or 11:59 p.m. Sunday, last day of the course. They got to be in there because then I got to turn around and do grades by like 9 a.m. The next day. So I don't have any time to track people down and say, hey, where's assignment? Where's your case study or whatever? I won't have time to do that. So we just got to get everything in by that time. But we don't want to let, don't make an impossible situation for yourself by where the quantity of work is just, impossible to catch up on. So yes, we can have some flexibility as we go here. Just let me know what you need, okay? But we do have to get her done, if you will, as we get through this thing. Because trust me, it will just snowball. And I've done this to myself. And then it comes to a situation where you just like, you're looking at, 3 learning activities and a topic essay, and you're just like, oh my God, with kids and everything. So try to keep it on track. Try to adhere to those due dates. If you need any flexibility on those due dates, reach out to me. All right, guys. All right, everybody have a great week. Stay safe, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, everyone.